Magandang araw mga classmate. Ngayong araw, ang pag-uusapan natin ay may kinalaman sa quadratic equations. So specifically, ang araling ito ay nakafocus sa ilang application ng quadratic equation. Subukan natin ang unang problem. Bosay Resort is known for its famous storm wave. One of its swimming pool with a dimension of 50 meters long and 34 meters wide is needed to be surrounded by a non-slip tile. Find the width of the space allotted for the non-slip tile if the total area of the pool and the space allotted for the tile is equal to 540 square meter. Okay. So, isa itong problem kung saan pwede nating gamitin ang knowledge natin on quadratic equations. But before that, let us try to analyze kung ano ba yung possible na pwede nating gamitin na illustration dun sa problem. Okay, so umpisahan natin yung mga simple lang na illustration. So let's say we have a swimming pool and so let's draw a swimming pool with representation of identical rectangle. So let's say ito yung ating swimming pool kung saan ang kanyang length ay 50 meters at ang kanyang width naman ay 34 meters. So sabi sa problem, so kailangang maglagay ng space. Ito yung mga space na yon allotted para sa non-slip tile. Ibig sabihin, ito yung space na paglalagyan ng mga tiles. So, let's say that the width o yung lapad nitong space na to, pwede nating i-represent as x. So, ito x. So, considering na ang lapad nung ipapalibot natin sa swimming pool ay pare-parehas. So, meron na tayong panibagong dimension kung saan mas malaking rectangle yung basis natin. Okay, so another thing to consider ay yung ating gagamitin na working equation. So, we all know na kapag ang pinag-uusapan ay area ng rectangle, so the area of rectangle is equal to length times width. So, ito yung formula para makuha natin yung area ng rectangle. Okay. So, isa-isahin natin. Para makuha natin kung ano yung magiging lapad, so dapat alam natin kung ano yung magiging area ng malaking rectangle. So, ang area ng malaking rectangle, so ang length na gagamitin natin ay mula rito. Alam natin na ang sukat niya ay 50 meters. So, dahil may natitira pa tayong space, so ito mula rito ay x. So, meron din tayo mula rito na x. So, ibig sabihin, yung malaking rectangle natin, ang magiging length niya ay 50 plus, i-add natin tong dalawang x. So, we have 50 plus 2x. Times, etong width. So, alam natin na mula dito hanggang dito is 34 meters. So, meron tayong space para rito which is represented by x. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating width can be represented by 34 plus 2x. So, hindi pa tayo tapos. So, para malaman natin kung ano yung magiging width nitong space na to, So, through analysis, pwede nating kunin yung area ng malaking rectangle at isubtract natin yung area ng maliit na triangle. So, ibig sabihin, we can subtract yung maliit na triangle, rectangle. So, we have 50, area niya, itong maliit na rectangle na nasa loob, by 34. Equal, so area ng rectangle is given as 540 square meter. So, in this case, pwede na nating isolve. So, 50 plus 2x times 34 plus 2x, this one can be solved by distributing 50 to 34 plus 2x. Ito, pwede nating i-distribute doon. And 2x, multiply natin sa 34 and sa 2x. So, doing that, it will result to 1,700. So, that is when we multiply 50 by 34 plus, when we multiply 50 plus 2x, 100x, then 2x times 34 will give us 68x, and 2x times 2x will give us 4x squared. Okay, so minus 50 times 34 is 1,700, equals tayo sa 540. So, I hope ay nasusundan natin mga classmate, ano? So, from this point, pwede pa nating isimplify. So, kung mapapansin nyo, we have 1,700 here minus 1,700. 1,700. So, pwede na nating i-cancel. So, ang matitira na lang ay 3 terms sa left side. So, pwede pa nating i-simplify ang 100x plus 68x. So, we have 168x plus 4x squared equals 540. So, in this case, pwede pa nating i-arrange yung ating equation. So, meron na tayong hint na ang ating nagiging equation ay quadratic kasi we have a degree 2 term which is a 4x squared. So, applying the addition property of equality, so we can add negative 540 sa both side ng equation. So, we have 168x plus 4x squared. So, minus 540 equals 0. Ito yung madalas na binabanggit ng kaklase natin na tinatranspose. Ano? So, nasabi ko sa nakaraang video natin, the technical term o yung mas tamang procedure is to apply the addition property of equality. So, kung paano nangyayari yung 540 naging negative 540 nung tumawid siya sa equal sign. So, pwede nating i-arrange in standard form. We have 4x squared plus 168x minus 540 equals 0. So, if you will notice mga classmate, so yung ating 3 terms, pwede pa nating isimplify. So, we can multiply both sides of the equation by 1/4. Or we can divide the entire equation by 4. So, 4x squared, when we divide by 4, will give us x squared plus 168 divided by 4, 42x. 540 or negative 540 divided by 4 is negative 135 equals 0. So, tandaan, classmate, meron na tayong mas simplified form ng quadratic equation. So, pwede na nating isolve yung possible value ng x by using kung ano yung best or kung saan kayo mas komportableng way pag-solve ng roots ng quadratic equation. Okay, so tandaan natin, ano? So we have x squared plus 42x minus 135 equals 0. So in this case, sulat natin. So we have x squared plus 42x minus 135 equals 0. So let's try to use the quadratic formula. But before that, let us identify first the value of a. So we have 1. For b, we have 42. For c, we have negative 135. And then we can now substitute this to the quadratic formula. So we have, again, negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So, substitute natin. We have negative 42 plus or minus. We have b squared, 42 square minus 4 times our a is 1 and c is negative 135 all over 2 times 1. Okay, simplify pa natin. We have negative 42 plus or minus. So, 42 squared will result to 1,764. When we multiply 4, 1, and negative 135, so that is equivalent to negative 540 all over 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, tuloy natin. So we have negative 42 plus or minus square root of 2,304. So that is the result when we subtract negative 540 to 1,764 all over 2. So square root of 2,304 is equal to, so ito ay pwede na natin gamitan ng calculator. So this is equal to 48 all over 2. So we can now solve for the roots of the equation. So we have negative 42 plus 48 over 2. So negative 42 plus 48, 6 over 2. 6 divided by 2 is positive 3. So another root, so we have negative 42 minus 48 all over 2. So this is equal to negative 90 over 2 or negative 45. Okay. So if you will notice, we have two solutions. So ang una is positive 3 and then the other one is negative 45. So in this case, ang pwede nating i-consider na sagot is positive 3 considering na wala tayong distance na negative. So ibig sabihin, the answer to the problem given is equal to 3 meters. So, ibig sabihin, yung additional space na paglalagyan ng tiles, so ang width niya ay 3 meters, nakapalibot siya sa swimming pool. Okay, so that's it para sa ating first problem. So, let's have another one. So, basahin muna natin. So, together, Popoy and Basha can finish the typing job in 2 hours alone, or in 2 hours. Alone, it takes Popoy 3 hours less than Basha to finish the same job. So how many hours does it take each of them to finish the same job? So if we're going to analyze, so this type of problem is what we called our problem or work related problem. So kapag work-related, so ang ating importanteng malaman o maintindihan o tandaan ay yung ating formula para sa work. So tandaan natin na ang work is equal to rate times time. O pwede rin nating i-manipulate. So pwede nating sabihin na ang rate ng trabaho ay equal sa work divided by T. Okay, so let's start. So in this case, so let's say work is equal to 1. So ito yung work kapag sila ay nagtrabaho together. So isa-isahin natin. So ang rate of work ni Popoy, sabi natin ay 3 hours less than Basha. And then the rate of work of Basha, so itong unahin natin yung kay Basha. So ang rate of work ni Basha, so work is equal to 1 all over, sabi dito ay actually walang naka-indicate kung ano yung rate of work ni Basha. So ibig sabihin, we can replace or we can use X to represent yun yung work rate ni Basha. And then for Popoy, so we can say na siya ay mas mabilis kay Basha. So ibig sabihin, work or rate of work ni Popoy ay 1 over, so kung si Basha ay X hours ang trabaho, so mas mabilis si Popoy, so ibig sabihin 1 over X minus 3. So minus 3 tayo, ibig sabihin mas mabilis. So kung si Basha ay nagtatrabaho within 10 hours, so mas mabilis si Popoy ng 3 hours. So ibig sabihin yung 10 hours bawasan natin ng 3. So that is 7 hours. So tandaan natin yun, classmate, ano? Yun yung mga importanteng details in order for us to work with this kind of problem. And then, pwede na nating isolve yung problem. So we all know this time that the rate of work nung dalawang tao kaya nilang tapusin in 2 hours. So this is equal to pag pinagsama natin yung rate of work ni Popoy at ni Basha. Okay. So medyo familiar na yung ating equation. So from this, pwede na nating i-simplify yung ating quadratic equation in rational form. So doing that, we have first to identify ano yung ating LCM. So ang LCM natin ay product ng ating lahat ng denominator. So ibig sabihin, product siya ng 2 times linawan natin. So this is product ng 2, product ng x minus 3, at product ng x. So meron na tayong LCM. So yung LCM, this will be multiplied in both sides ng ating equation. So when we multiply 2 times x minus 3 times x sa 1/2, so this will result to 2 times x minus 3 times x all over 2 equals, ganun uli. So, multiply natin yung LCM dito kay 1 over x minus 3. So, we'll have 2 times x minus 3 times x all over x minus 3 plus, ganun uli, LCM, i-multiply naman natin dito. So, we have, again, 2 times x minus 3 times x all over x. So, pwede na nating i-simplify uli yung ating equation. So, pwede na nating i-cancel itong nasa left side na 2. Then, yung nasa right side. So, x minus 3 pwede nang makancel. And then, etong x and x. So, rewrite natin kung ano yung mga natira. So, we now have x minus 3 times x is equal to 2x when we multiply 2 and x plus 2 times x minus 3. Okay, so distribute natin. So, x minus 3 times x will result to x squared minus 3x equals to 2x plus 2x minus 6. Simplify pa natin. So, we can now apply the addition property of equality. So, doing that, by the way, yung 2x plus 2x, pwede natin isulat as 4x. So, para mas malinaw. So, meron na tayong, dito na tayo sa kabilang banda. X squared minus 3x minus 4x plus 6 equals 0. So, we can combine negative 3x and negative 4x, so that will result to negative 7x. Okay. So, in this case, meron na ulit tayong tinatawag na quadratic equation. So, we now have x squared minus 2x plus 6. So, in this case, pwede na uli natin gamitin yung ating iba't ibang way ng pag-solve ng quadratic equation. So, kung kanina gumamit tayo ng quadratic formula, so this time, so let's try to use another method. So, rewrite natin x squared minus 7x plus 6 equals 0. So, pwede tayong gumamit ng factoring. So, we can now factor the equation as the product of x minus 6 and x minus 1. So, applying the zero product property, we can equate the factors to x minus 6 equals 0. And then, sa other side, x minus 1 equals 0. And then, applying the addition property of equality. So, we have x equals positive 6. Sa right side, we have x equals positive 1. Question. So, ano kaya yung possible solution dito sa ating problem considering na meron tayong dalawa na positive solution? So, balikan natin yung naging original natin na working equation. So, we have 1 over 2 equals 1 over x plus 1 over x minus 3. So, ang rate of work ni Popoy, sabi natin ay x minus 3. And then, ang rate of work ni Basya ay x. So, pag sinubukan natin yung 1 as possible solution, So when we substitute, so we have 1 minus 3, the answer is negative 2. So ibig sabihin, we cannot consider positive 1 since walang negative 2 na time. So we cannot represent the time ng negative 2. So ibig sabihin, so this is not a solution. So let's try 6. So if we have 6 as the value of x, so we have 6 minus 3. So ibig sabihin, 3 hours lang nagagawa ni Popoy yung typing job. And Basha can do the job for 6 hours. So ibig sabihin, we satisfy the condition that Popoy works 3 hours faster kesa kay Basha. So ibig sabihin, the solution or the value of x is equal to 6, and these are our answer dun sa problem. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you learn a lot with today's lesson about application of quadratic function or quadratic equation. And feel free to message or share this to your classmate para mas marami pa tayong matulungan. Until next time,